Hello, everybody. Satnam. This is our July Karta time, number 7 of this year. And we're happy to welcome you for those who are joining and those who are used to and come regularly to this meeting time. I feel honored and happy to share this vibrant moment with you. So just bring our palm together and just tune in. Just close your eyes and move your attention into your inner self and take this moment for you as a gift, as a moment of opening, inspiration, and to connect with your own higher self, your own source of guidance and inspiration, so you may be touched and you may feel motivated again for your own growth and expansion. Ad Gurename, Chugad Gurename, Sat Gurename, Siri Gurudevename. Ad Gurename, Chugad Gurename, Sat Gurename, Siri Gurudevename. Ad Gurename, Chugad Gurename, Sat Gurename, Siri Gurudevename. So we just came through a really amazing um, months completely, because this is just a month I was going to India in Kerala for Ayurvedic Panchakarma. And this have give me this time, this is the third year I'm going, and we go with a group of students who wants to work on themselves and their body, spirit, and health. And this is so deep and profound experience where we combine the Ayurveda, the healing rays, and all our healing techniques. We were three therapists with Arnal and Jegopal and me, and a group of about 20 people, and the level of experience we reached was fantastic. So personally, it's for me like my personal retreat of 3 weeks, full time with myself, meditating and taking care of all levels of myself, which is today a priority if I want to keep up in becoming younger every year. So actually now it is factual. I went through a lot of change in my physical body as well. So I had like knee problem, and I had these crystals in the kidney, and now there is such an improvement. And certainly, what is the most touching is that it now was I am able to put in motion new habits on food, even though I was eating very healthy food. But we don't discriminate what is a healthy food with what is a food that can maintain the balance of your doshas. And this is very different. It's a total different approach. And it's not enough to eat good food or healthy food and, grown organically and everything like I did for all my life. But now I am aware that you really need to select according to the time, the cycle in your life, a very specific food adapted to your dosha. So what is off can come back, and this is what the cure can do. The panchakarma, they address exactly the unbalance of your dosha and this vrikriti, they call it. And then we come back after 3 weeks on the stage of be renewed, and now we need to maintain. So the challenge was to come back from India and jump right away into our immersion week, the 5 elements. And this is just, I couldn't imagine that. I reached such a stage of peace and easiness and very deeply relaxed in my body, in my mind, in my consciousness. So I thought, how I'm going to face the need of such a intense moment where all the mentor, the trainers come, the people who support us are coming, and all these students coming from 4 corners of the world. This year we had people coming from south of Africa in this Reunion Island, so far away, and people from East Russia coming, and people from all corners of Europe as well. So it was an amazing, about 200 people there to run these 5 elements, and we were back into the elements and how to help people to really realize that they can transform. They can really transform deeply in letting go many sort of attachment through a practical experience. So we did that, and actually it's the first time since, I don't know, I have no memory of that, where I can go through this week with so much, I mean, awareness and concentration and be full on 24/7. It is 7 days, and still be relaxed. It's amazing that it's the first time I'm finishing such a intense week with so much ease and grace and facility. So I was able to maintain the strict discipline of the food and the discipline of the time of the day, how we could split the day, where we could really follow a rhythm, and this worked perfectly. So first time when this roller coaster rolling over Le Martinet didn't smash us, but rather have inspired us and boost us. And it ended up this morning. Can you believe this? The people were leaving from 5 o'clock this morning. I had so many demand of spiritual name. This time was just an amazing raise of new people. So we are now having a completely renewed team of people who are embracing these new frequencies, this new humanity, and the people who are coming up, they are really are people on the front line in the life to really make the change. And they need action, and they need to go an orientation for themselves, how to face this chaotic time where values are disappearing, and they need to reorient and put themselves into action. So this was a mutual resonance between how we process ourselves, the change on this planet for ourselves, and practically applying it in our life, and how all the students come with in resonance the same orientation for their own life. So it fits perfectly. I think yesterday night we had this amazing celebration, I would say, of the different tribes where people come from, and with their local tradition, song and dance, and it was so much fun. It's unbelievable. And it was all in the heart, really open, like a sort of really a very fresh space of love and kindness. So I feel actually inspired, expanded, and strengthened after the week like I never been before. Before I used to be like one day off, sleep and relax because it was overwhelming. So I think now I start to understand that when you are an empath, when you are a teacher, when you are a light worker, and you deliver yourself 100% with passion, you don't need to be exhausted from that work. You understand? There is many ways where actually giving and receiving, and we just need to understand how through the giving we can renew ourselves. So I think it's part of the theme of today, what I wanted to address. That's why I gave this introduction with the time for us in Le Martinet. And Le Martinet is getting so vibrant. The frequency is raised so high that all the vegetation, trees, and all what we have plants, the flowers are growing now and blossoming. So I don't know what's happening, but it's sort of a magic. This place dedicating now the space for transformation and healing is becoming absolutely efficient, and just people put their feet on this land and things are shifting. So it's very encouraging. So here we go for our forecast for the time coming, and we are right on. So I think this is like the message I would say is go forward. Go forward is really the motto for this month. This is the fullness of the summer, and the symbol is a fruit have already got the shape, but it will be a time now of ripening where things will get mature. So as in the previous 2 months, in June and July, we had to choose to get into action and really make choices, all this kind of preparation ground for now. So now is the time to first honor yourself, because the action you are initiating is gonna take you very far and very fast into new horizon. If you really made this choice from your higher self, like we were working before on this guidance, and be intuitive and connect to your higher self before you decide to move and change, and what you discriminate, letting go and adopt new orientation. So now you are becoming the bridge. This is not anymore about conception, about intuitively finding which direction, where I should go. Now it is put your action in motion, but this action are a bridge between you and the one you want to become. You remember last month we had that uh, very strong realization that we know who we are by the connection, the inner guidance, by our history and what brought us today. And then we perceive what we should become. This is not even an option. We feel, if we really open up with courage to this true vision of who we are really, then it becomes who we should become. It's not like who an option to become maybe this. It's absolutely we need to become what we should become, because when we perceive that amazing soul that is in us, it has this talent, amazing possibility that we need to bring into action in this world now. And time is opening this, the heaven are opening, energy is coming for us to be supported, to be inspired, and to really move into action, but not losing ourselves into working, doing. It's not just doing through effort. That's not the point. The point is honor yourself, the self-love. But by doing, what is self-love in action is taking care of your physical body. That's where you start. Because if your physical body is not resonating, is not in the right frequencies, any other perspective, vision, and dream, you cannot carry with your legs. So you need good knees, you need good kidneys, you need a good body. So focusing to do something that is exciting for you to pull you up. Do you understand? We need two things, yeah, two movements. One is, what can I drop that pulls me down? And what can I boost? What can I practice? What can I engage myself into so I will be lifted up? So, and these are for yourself, and when you do that, you will get this excitement, this joy. That's what I feel now. What did I do? I start to eat much less. And this is, I'm a tall guy, and I had this sort of a habit of a plate that for me was a standard mostly all my life. Yeah. And even though when I'm more enthusiastic and happy in company of good company, I feel to eat more. When I work like last week delivering Kriyas for 4 hours with 200 people, I feel like to eat. Yeah, and then this time I've learned to reduce my portion every day, but having tasty quality food and variety of food, that is just what I need for my doshas, and the taste I use there, the six taste, and with a small portion, fulfill myself, feel really nourished. And of course, time comes through the day. That was my other wrong habit, is I didn't drink enough. I used to be proud to call myself like a camel. I would cross a desert with 1 liter of water and feel I don't need to dry to I'm not drying out. I don't need to drink. But that was a big mistake, because with the age and the time, actually, not draining your system and not drinking enough water, not wine or alcohol, but water, then actually you are accumulating vata, which gonna create pain in the body, and the cramps are the acidity of the body doesn't dissolve easily, and that's how I mess it up. So I understood now I need to really force myself to drink, and that's why I'm gonna drink during this talk. I am constantly drinking and drinking. It is helping the drain, and this is a new habit. I never had that habit. I have to force myself because I don't feel like to drink. Yeah, first I feel drink again, but slowly, step by step, I start to appreciate the effect it does on my body, how I feel. Of course, I have to go and pee many times a day, but now it is draining this body. The pain has diminished. My knees are start working again, and I'm quite sure it will take few months. But these crystals in the kidney are now solving. I'm using plants and many things to help me to transform that, and I feel already. So, and then the practice of intense Kundalini apply to stretching and opening the pelvic area and helping myself. So this physical exercise is extremely good, and start to rebuild my body shape. So I think you should do something like this for this next month. Start something that you feel passionate, like eat less, don't eat for 10 days, or try something that's gonna make you feel much lighter with your constitution, and also ipso facto it will affect your spirit and your mind soul. Yeah? Because that clarity and elevation of this union between the mind and the soul can balance completely this habit of union between mind and ego. And these two have to come to an agreement. If mind is driving you from this desire, and then this desire drag you down and make you more heavy and tamasic, even though you feel healthy and you think you are a healthy life, this is not going to go anywhere. So you need to really confront yourself much deeper and take action now. And this is a great time to do this. So more you can add practice. One after this, you can do small practice on the food, on your habit, on your movement, anything that concern love of your physical body, and keep this body more alive and more vibrant and with higher frequencies. Do it with passion. And when you raise the resistance, like if you're addicted to sugar or to chocolate or to whatever, you can get out of that. It is possible. And it's not like frustration and I should not do this. This is not the spirit. You do it with passion, with interest and curiosity, and say, okay, I'm going to see my 15 days now or 20 days without chocolate at all, or without sweetener or without gluten or without any kind. And just try something, no dairy product, by example, and just try what it is. And you will see the transformation it does in your body, how you change according to your constitution, how it will affect you, and you will feel much lighter and therefore much more inspired. So this is one thing I invite you to practice for yourself because it's completely aligned, I think, with the time we are facing now in this beautiful month. Fullness, you not fool yourself with too much. This is the opposite. You can really drag energy much more subtle from a much higher frequency if you keep yourself much more light. So raise your frequency. It's part of how to move forward. That is in you, this ego mind, trying to drag you down into old habits, subconscious pattern, as we have started working already for a few months now. And when you do this, when you do an action to make yourself much lighter, you will find resistance because the ego mind starts to say, oh, where is my pleasure? So the pleasure you have in conquering a habit that you couldn't face before. So this is already a source of joy. But then there is all the old resistance come like a habit to eat after you have made a big effort or not considering priority to keep your diet properly. So this kind of old habit will pop up and you will feel angry at the time where you used to eat and stuff yourself when it's not appropriate, like late in night or things like that. And then you can use tricks to let go of that habit, face it, face the feeling and do something. You can drink water to fill up the stomach when you have this feeling of emptiness and neediness to fill up your stomach. Just keep your awareness on that and let go. Let go with joy as well. So the key thing in that is not suppress and put yourself really into a sort of so strict discipline from the mind. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking raise your level of passion to elevate your frequency and let go what drags you down. Is it clear? Yes, I think you understand. It is all about being passionate. And this is a key thing today is there's so many reasons to lose your fire, to lose your passion about life, about you, about the self-love, about radiating who you are, because the environment doesn't resonate with that frequency. The environment looks stuck. There's many depressed people or impossibilities and fear rising level around wanting to face their own defection because it's too unbearable for them. So if you maintain yourself and radiate this light, you bring it into, with your passion, you will lead the passion in others. By resonance, you will inspire other people. If you can inspire yourself, that will inspire other people. That's what I see. And it's very effective. You don't need to convince anybody. You don't need to preach. You don't need to claim Kundalini can solve everything because it's false. It doesn't. If your consciousness is not there, there's no yoga who can change anything. You need to be in mindfulness and heartfulness into your passion and do these things for the sake of you, honoring yourself. So this is a very strong going forward, honoring yourself passionately. So, so when resistance comes, face it with grace, embrace them, accept them, and don't repress them, but find a way how you would elegantly let go things and still get a bonus from letting go. Do you understand? It is not, I can't do, it's so frustrating. No. If I do that, I will feel much lighter. I understand I need to give myself that quality. And as soon as you do it, there is less poof. When you let go, this gap, this opening, is giving you a movement of ascension, of lightness, where you feel, wow, I'm in another life. Something has totally changed for me. Do you understand? And we don't change anything outside. It is all about your relationship with your inner self. This is this intimacy. This is a month to really, really be with yourself because so many things happen outside. But don't lose track of your relationship with yourself. That intimacy is the guarantee of being joyful and peaceful. This is a easiness and grace. This is the new thing that comes in my life today, and I think it's totally part of where we need to go. We don't need to go with having excitement and passion and become again like in the old habit: work, 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 plan, 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 produce, produce, produce. Uh, no, we don't need to do that, to push things like this. It comes with a pace, it comes when it has to come, and it has its own speed. And through any sort of time pressure that may try to enter your space, if you have brought down your own frequency into very slow rhythm, an inner rhythm, by pranayama, by working your physical body and working on your food, I don't see how that stress can access you as a distraction. You will rather observe the stress factor coming into your life and just say, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to be tempted by the call of the stress factor to lose my pace, to lose my frequency and the quality of the space I am in. So, having the most precious value in this month of hyperactivity, hyper expansion, creativity, action, possibility of really renew, be on this bridge between the you and the one you should become, that is happening by your action, by your decision, needs to be done in a frame of no hurry, no rush. Just breathe into it. Sit down. Stop the all the excitant like coffee or sugar, and that actually they give you a false sense of vitality and energy. Is a wrong frequency. If you drop this all and you really renew yourself with the prana of the breath and the food you are eating, that already will totally change your capacity of no, no tension. You don't need tension. You process what comes and through your breath and this inner rhythm which quiet yourself and your spirit and your mind, yourself and your spirit and your mind, then you face things with an open heart, welcoming what comes. You're not checking with your emotion. Remember that we're gonna by work, working on ourselves so strongly and so passionately, we raise a lot of resistance coming up as a emotion like fear or doubting or things like this, because not everybody around you will agree with this kind of decision. And many people say, oh, what are you doing with your life? I'm here to enjoy life. I want to eat what I want and all that. Your life. I'm here to enjoy life. I want to eat what I want and all that stuff. So let it be. But for yourself, if you swim in that ocean by yourself and honoring yourself alone and feel, gosh, this whole life now, what am I doing with myself? Fears may come, doubt may come. That's a way now to process it, to just embrace they come. It's not a just embrace they come. It's not a problem to experience fear, experience doubt about your own decision, about your own direction. It's completely normal that it comes up. It's the other side of the situation that you cannot be just fanatic. You just are intentional and passionate. But of course, the other side is coming up. So let go this attachment that brings these fears. Let go what you can identify when the resistance comes up. This is now our new habit. I think we do this for several cards at a time. When resistance comes up, when emotion comes up, the first rule is when I feel an emotion, this is not truly me. Remember that? When I am emotional, when I feel an emotion, doesn't mean this is the truth in the situation. It just means that's how my system perceive it with all my mind system, my sensory system, and my emotional ground. So if you take that step back and says, okay, I feel an emotion now that's not truth. It's not the truth about the situation. I feel that I recognize the emotion, and it's okay to feel like this. But it means also there are many other options to feel and sense that situation. But it's just my system who perceives it this way now. It doesn't mean this is the total truth. So if you start to distrust that emotional doesn't mean I am truthfully me, then you're open to receive the truth from another level, from another frequency. So you do not deny what you feel as an emotion. It's okay to be in fear. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. But then see, this is not totally me and this is not totally true. So I'm open to see what else there is in that situation beside what I feel. And then you open the space to really understand through wisdom. That is a complete different frequency where you're not just affirming and be sure that if you feel like this, the other one is like that, the situation is like this. Not at all. There are hundreds of other possibilities in that situation you cannot see if you rely on when I feel that emotion, this is true for me, is not true for the situation. So get rid of that certainty that when I feel that, it is like this, it is not. Therefore, I'm ready to see what else that situation can be, what else that person could be, and why do I resonate with that level? What is it in me that needs to experience that emotion now? And then you will see there is something in you that is hoping, the hope of the hopeless. Inside us, there is always a little corner like this that wants something else that what comes to you. And then you see that neediness and you realize you're a slave of that neediness. And is it now actual? Is it really that you need it now? And when you look at it, 9 times out of 10, you don't really need it. Absolutely not. This time is over. You wanted this when you were 7 years old. Today you're grown up. Why you still drive by that thing? Yeah. So when you face it, you see it, and you're still very peaceful. You could just say, I see you. You put a big smile and just, I don't know. I release you. I don't need you. I release you. And then you let go. Let go what was the need for putting you in that. Especially many of you are doing this. It's become a common sense. Like so many people practice that law of reflection and resonance. So we understand not through our mind, but we understand what is within us that drags us limited. So this energy, the hub of your life in these next months, where you choose to engage, to go forward, and become this bridge between the you knew, the old you, and the new you that you anticipate, that you have felt, that you have senses, that you see how many potential you're not developed, and you're chosen now to move into action with this new potential. So do it. Do it with ease and grace, not workaholic, not fanatic. You understand? You go with the heart. So this is a beautiful month to experience self-love. This Venus is playing, you all know that. And this is not, I had some question actually for this Karta time, but I can include it in my talk. But one thing is for sure, people have problem about love. And I say in this next 7 years, whole humanity is learning about an expanded form of love in our group consciousness and in our relationship. But what does it mean? It means that actually love does not belong to anyone. Love is what is, because everything created in this whole universe is carried by the energy of love and kindness. So this is what manifests the creation in the 3D. It is love that is behind that. When we call Adi Shakti, what is that primal energy? It's a loving energy that can create anything. So nobody can claim that I love somebody or somebody love me or I have loved this and I don't love that, because we are all made of love. So the question is it flowing between us, or are we just making a break, making a stop, a derivation, holding back, and not able to open? So this is the problem we have. We're projecting that when I feel something in my magnetic field that buzzes me, I think, oh, that's a manifestation of love. It is because of that person. So definitely not, not at all. It is a resonance at the moment between these two people who actually are lacking to open up their channel to channelize more of the flow of love, because that flow is unlimited. You cannot exhaust the love. Love cannot start and cannot end. Love cannot belong to anyone. And as we used to say, as even a mantra, love is love. That's all it is. So we cannot possess it. You cannot possess that love. So, and nobody can own it. Or so unconditional love start by honoring, opening your channel to transit, to channelize, to let flow this love through all your system, from the physical level in your cells, from the meridian, and all the circulation of the flow of prana through the body is also love in action. And then ultimately through the door and portal of your chakra that connect with this consciousness, all this flow is carrying love. So if you closed up and if you limit yourself flow through you, forget experiencing it with somebody else. You're just two defected people not able to channelize love, who fall in the hallucination that with somebody else I will feel more. This is not possible. Somebody will reflect you love. This is not true. They will manifest a way to possess you because they also need to hang on somebody else's energy. So we all, this is free, free tax. Love is given to all of us freely. We just need to open it, open ourselves to it, receive it, and honoring that this love is flowing through us. When you start experiencing that self-love, that's what I call self-love. Is not egocentric love. It's not I love myself, don't you see? No, it's not based on mental egomaniac attitude. Self-love is a love of self. And self has no limit. So when you fall in love with yourself, you start to honor yourself and become honorable. And that is love. Love starts when you fall in love with yourself. You're impressed by who you are, and this is touching you, and you start to respect yourself and stop betraying yourself and twist yourself with yourself. So when you open up, this flow of love is coming through you. Therefore, when you meet other people, it will radiate, it will resonate, and people may feel comfortable to be in your presence. They want to be in your presence. They feel inspired to be there. And all these kind of manifestations start to happen, but nobody will start hanging on you because your boundaries are very clear, has no limit, so nobody can ever hook on you and suck your energy, because this is not the way it works. So by starting honoring your self-love, the love of the self, and let this self descending from the wants to communicate. They are taking care of you. They are watching over you like a grand sister and grand brothers who are just watching over you to bring you comfort, security, protection, inspiration, vitality, energy. Is all there through this universal channel that we call Kundalini descending, because there is these two Kundalini, ascending and descending, using the prana from Mother Earth and ascending this energy to Sasra. But there is the descending Kundalini coming from the 10th gate and filling up all your consciousness with new inspiration, with new vision, with the vision, the cosmic vision of what is the life on this planet today. So we all need to connect to that energy. And this is love. It has no condition. It's just open up your heart, is boost your passion, make you joyful just for no reason, just by yourself. So I think this month is an excellent moment to realign yourself, open your 10 gates, boost the soul from wherever it was dragged down to ascend again and find the connection with this frequency of your higher self, other higher self, where you can bring your soul into infinity and break the bonds that are wanting to limit your destiny. So when you're able to open to that level of unconditional love, when your system is floated by it and you just have it through all your pores, cells, and system, what is left and what we need to do this month and what we need to bring into our life is celebrate our victory. Celebration is always a burden. You know, you've done a good job, you have exhausted yourself, you give yourself in so much effort and direction. Then when something is accomplished, you fall apart, you sleep, you go on vacation, you don't want to think about anything, you just want to stop and relax. But you forget to totally celebrate and realize the gift that drive you, all the driven forces through your action when you completed something and you reach a point of victory. That means all elements came into place in harmony and the realization is beautiful. It is a time to celebrate. It's by coincidence, I realize this month we're going to have on the 16, 17, 18, that Coming Home Festival is not the word festival, it's really a celebration of people who appreciate each other, who love the practice of the yoga, the practice of self-elevation, the practice of service to the planet, to humanity, to all the different realms, wants to gather on this place, on this land, to celebrate all this benefit of practicing and inspiring each other and elevating each other. Is the time to say, yes, we have been blessed, we have been receiving so many gifts from our higher self that are actually from the same family. And that's the Sangat, is recognize it. We are from the oneness. We are same family of soul. And we are here to celebrate the gift we all receive in our life because we are able to be positioned in life to serve. This is a great, great privilege when you have access in your life, a place where you can donate, give yourself 100% and be useful to yourself and others around you. So we're going to celebrate that. And I think each of you, if you stay wherever you are in your own little world, this is a big world. You are receiving every day so many gifts. And that is the relationship to gift is something also I've learned through this retreat and meditation I did, is that I used to diminish the gift I receive in my life because somehow it was overwhelming to realize I'm gifted and I cannot see this all around me. So how can I just take pride of that? And I would always diminish, I'm gifted, but it's nothing. It's just normal. But when you have that habit to totally not appreciate so much gift that comes to you, you're losing. You're losing that amazing magic of life, that gifts are raining over you and you take it for granted. And that's what I did. So I think it is a time to stop, look back, and see, oh my God, how many victories you went through by the grace of the divine plan, by the synchronicity and the resonance of this universe with your destiny, that you have been to so many places of receiving so many gifts. And they can be very small. They are as important as a big gift. It's not about money or anything like this. It's so many signs that actually this universe is kind to you, and you start to see it because your heart is open and you accept it, you realize it, and you are grateful for that. So celebration is all bunch of people who are realizing collectively that we are gifted, and gifts are keep on coming, and we receive them willingly, openly, accepting from the heart this gift coming to our life. So it needs a time to stop the time and celebrate the joy and the sharing. So we're going to practice, very strong practice, to continue to purify ourselves and transform what doesn't want to be transformed and resist to be transformed. So this is like this part of the day. We're going to do like 6 hours of tantric practice and kriya. But then the evening, after sharing food together, we're going to go and celebrate and sing satsang overnight for everybody who wants to join, celebrate the congregation, celebrate the joy of being gifted and having been blessed. So this is part of, I invite anybody through this month to have that kind of practice. Take the time to celebrate, offer anything for all the greatness and the beauty you have received, and the healing and the inspiration and the support and the means that came to you in your project, and you could manifest something beautiful in yourself, with yourself, in your environment. So that being grateful and acknowledge the gift and celebrate, this is one of the things I would encourage you to do this month. So I think it is about what I wanted to share with you, and I think it's already many points. You gave a lot of attention, focus, and mindfulness to apply on all these fields I was sharing with you. Go forward, appreciate, develop the self-worth and your self-love, so you may share love with no limitation, and unconditionally, if it comes through you, with no limitation. So I thought of a practice for this month, and this is again like our traditional short kriya that you can do, very effective, very focused. This time it's going to be again something around 31 minutes as a foundation of your practice, and then we'll see the last practice is the time you have, the time you want to give to that. So the first exercise, it has to do with this amazing, powerful breath through the teeth. And it when you suck the air through the teeth, it will come directly from this area, we call it thymus chakra. It's exactly halfway between heart center, heart chakra, and the throat chakra, just right here. That's where these glands, thymus, are located. And when you understand, when you inhale through the teeth, You have to suck it powerfully and it comes through that chakra. This chakra is the door access for self-love. So when you open that door, immediately you will fall in love with yourself. It will do that. It will boost that energy. It will totally open, and then for sure, it will help you to open up to this old gate of your heart temple. But so you focus on this breath is a powerful inhale through the teeth and exhaling through the nose. I make big eyes because this is one of the other conditions of this kriya is you need to keep the eyes big open, wide open, and not blink the eyelid. This will give you access to assimilate the prana, the frequency of prana you are absorbing in the body, and it's going to be more and more and more. And so with your eyes, you assimilate 80% of your prana exchange goes through the eyes. So when you keep the eyes wide open, eyelid up and kept open, you don't blink at all, your mind is going to shut down. The frequency of the mind waves are going to slow down completely. You're going to move the frequency of the brain wave. So, and exhale through nose. So the posture is put your hands over this thymus chakra, just above the heart chakra, and below the throat chakra, just here. Your left hand and the right, and you remember this very traditional old practice of a stiff Jupiter on the side that indicate that I know something. The wisdom is coming to me, and I'm channelize this wisdom and become the center of my own universe, my own reference. So you keep it like this, spine straight, chest out, hands on the thymus chakra, and the right hand as a fist locked by the thumbs and the index finger stiff and looking up. And you go with this breath 11 minutes. Inhale through the teeth, exhale through the nose. It's extremely powerful. You're going to get dizzy after 3 minutes. After 5-7 minutes, you're totally changing space. You're going to expand, and you will maybe feel like tiredness, yawning, wanting to stop. Keep breathing. Just do not stop. Go all the way until 11 minutes is a good cycle, and you will pass this wall of wanting to stop, demotivating, why should I breathe like this? And then you burn this mind who comes down, you pass through that barrier, and you go to 11 minutes and see where you get such an expanded and very high frequency of your awareness. When that is boosted and opened, and your soul is now linking with the mind. This is what we want, is to sort of separate the union of ego mind and bring it into soul minded, and the soul will be now connect to the mind to journey to this Buddhi mind space, which is not personal, which is all totally inclusive. So we're going to bring our hands in Venus lock above our head, but above, not on the head, just above our head. And in this posture, we're going to now make a small pipe in the mouth, inhaling through this little pipe, like if you have a straw to suck your drink, your water. And you exhale through the hole the same, which is very, very soft, very deep. It's a long, deep breath, inhaling through the little pipe in the mouth and exhaling through the mouth softly, very deep, long, deep breath. So this is, and for this one, you can close your eyes and feel the ascension, feel the expansion. It's like all around Sasra. These hands are about touching the 10th gate. That's about where it is, about like 40, 50 centimeters above the Sasra. That's where you position your hands. And that is connecting with that chakra frequency. And then the mind and the soul together start to journey in this space of the Buddhi mind where there is no amkara, there is no sense of me, you, and nothing like this. You just open up, open up, open up to the universal wisdom, to the source of wisdom, and your soul start to expand into infinity. This is the journey we want to give ourselves, this inner self, the soul connect to the inner mind that start to expand beyond any personal level and move and merge into this Buddhi universal space of all inclusion, of understanding through wisdom and channelizing love. So it will totally, and then this part you do 9 minutes. So first time 11 minutes, second part 9 minutes. Then we get to the third part where you hold yourself with the flash of the thumbs in the eye and you drop your head against your thumbs. So your hands are holding and your head is descending on these thumbs, and you are now closing your eyes, uh, and you have the palm together. So it's sort of a prayer in front of your third eye and holding your head from the thumb's flesh there, extended. And through this posture, you're gonna really pierce through the time and space, through this Buddhist space, you're gonna whistle on the exhale and inhale slowly, deeply, deeply, and then whistle out, whistle out. You're gonna go through that. So all the prana that was in the lower part of your body through the whistling and the concentration on your third eye and the sound itself will start connecting pituitary and pineal glands and make you open sasra. And then you can really expand, expand, expand. This one will do only 7 minutes. So 11 minutes first, 9 minutes the second, 7 minute whistling out through the exhaling. Then we reach the four parts. So now we are 27. The last one is 4 minutes, 31 total. The last one, you're gonna put arms parallel to the shoulder level in front of the body. So they look forward. And you have the right hand up, the left palm down, and you just keep them like this, close to each other. You close your eyes, and for 4 minutes, you're gonna open the chest, open this mudra, palm down, palm up, and breath of fire. Very superficial, the real breath of fire, traditional in Kundalini. So it's not forcing, it's not Kapalabhati, it's just light, shallow, superficial, moving your navel and pumping, pumping, pumping your breath of fire, 4 minutes. At that moment, it has stimulated, it has synthesized all energy, all frequencies you have tapped in, they will come into the heart. That's what the posture of the arms do. If your chest is out, arms stretch, and breath of fire, you are activating very strongly the heart chakra. And this is now the door to self-love, this door you don't want ever to close again. So you will put, so when you finish these 4 minutes, inhale, exhale, stop. And the final, after this was 31 minutes, now the left palm on the heart, the right over it. Close your eyes and you go deeply, deeply in absolute presence. You're going to feel under your palm, in your heart temple, the divine presence of you, this highest frequency of you coming into your heart, and appreciate self-love. Appreciate the self that comes to you, that bring you so many gifts, that you are now becoming aware. You look in your life in the last 6 months or last week, how many gifts have you been receiving that you took it for granted, you did not recognize, you did not appreciate, you didn't even take the time to look at it. And now, with the heart wide open, falling in love with the self who take care of you and bring and channelize and bring all that blessings to you, you start to appreciate. And this you can do as long as you want. Minimum will be, let's say, 5, 7 minutes to really take a minimum time to integrate all that for exercise you did before and boosted this prana, this very precious quality of plasma when you connect to the 10th gate, that there's all this inspiration coming to you, and the exaltation, be exalt your heart. It will boost your capacity to be passionate, boost the capacity to choose from the heart, to engage in your life, more energy, more vitality for your physical body, all your commitment. If it comes from the heart, it becomes such more easy. So for the time that is coming, I thought that would be a good set, a complete circle where you care for yourself, welcome the higher self, and be in love with them. Whatever frequency comes to you, whatever voice speaks to you, make you realize how much blessing and gift you have been receiving, and actually you are deeply loved by the whole universe that provide, and you are a person that is provided rather than a person that is deprived. You understand? We are all provided. Sometimes it is challenging, but even in the challenge, we are provided always by amazing, unexpected solution, people who manifest and come and bring the support we need. Many signs you will recognize by sitting down, be totally mindful and peaceful, at ease with yourself, and very appreciative and grateful. So that's the Kriya for the month. I'm sure you will extremely appreciate that moment after the 4 exercise where you integrate and you completely fall in love with everything that comes to you, within you, into your life. So that is my suggestion, the update, the work with the forecast energy quality we want to put into our life for this month. Going through this amazing 15 August, the full moon will be there, and we're going to be on the top of the Mont Aiguille here, celebrating this, how the new man can contribute into this change of humanity, and how can we apply and put our life into action so we can serve this awakening of humanity. So we decided to go on this mountain top with some professional guides, and I think it's going to be one way to start celebrating the elevation of humankind in a symbolic way. Then when we come down, we have this 16, 17, 18 celebration and practice together. So I wish you take best advantage of this time for yourself, and where you're gonna as well be able to celebrate and render back to life what life gives you when you invest your love into it. I want to take a little time now to answer some of your questions. So thank you for being here today. I know many of you are in vacation, I don't know where. Don't forget to practice and take care of yourself. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. So here it is, Siri Aftar, our old friend and a practitioner who have been living in Le Martinet for quite a few years. I have been helping her. That was one of the gifts we've got also in this time when we went through the 2012 and all these years after that were so challenging for us to go through this desert and letting go of the old past. he was there to support us. So he's expressing his challenge. He wrote in French, but here we are on the international channel. So Nam Hari, hello, love. So yes, Sri Avatar says about exhaustion. You know, when he's tired, he sees that he's actually regressing, and the subconscious pattern comes up. So this is something I wanted to share with you as well. Is that in what we call our level 2, which is a progression. Now we have 7 blocks and 7 weeks that are going over 2.5 years, and people can choose any of these blocks. You can enter anytime, and ever you have done level 2 before, this is completely renewed. The program is totally changed, and it goes so much deeper today and so much more accurately to the time and the needs we have to be effective with ourselves to go through the transformation. So this is even though we kept the same theme, we have totally transformed the process and what we help you to deliver to yourself. So this is one of the things, the mind, when we work on this week on the mind, we have to understand that the subconscious mind has been built in a time where we were before 7 years old, and is on automatic and extremely performant, is very quick, is constantly ready to jump in if your conscious mind, which is the front lobe, is lost in time. So, and this is what we do. When we are exhausted, the creative mind shut down. We are lost into I want to escape, or I cannot see the future, or I'm want to get rid of the past, is too heavy on my shoulder, and therefore you're in this numbness of the mind where you can't keep yourself up being creative. At that moment, definitely the subconscious mind works for you on automatic, and the old pattern make you regress. So this is absolutely accurate. So question is, how do you bring you to exhaustion? And of course, when you are in the 30s, 40s, you definitely so engage into the life process, into action, that you do not estimate how much you actually abuse yourself. And it's not to slow down. It's like you abuse yourself because the mind drives you nuts, and you're not putting the loving passion from the heart into action. Is you start maybe from that. Your intention was from the heart, and immediately the mind jump onto your ego, and it drives you to exhaustion. So this is a sign that you don't observe the factor that bring you into that exhaustion. And definitely is the lack of practice for yourself, and the lack of taking care of regular healthy food for your dosha. Is that this is two main factor where you lose your vitality, because then the body has to compensate for what you're lacking, of what you take too much. And when you have a young body, this young body have still glands that are young, so they eliminate the toxins, the too much you take. But over 45, 50, then it doesn't eliminate anymore. And if the habit was to take food that you don't need, or overeat things that are not necessary, when you're young, you eliminate that waste, but when you are getting older, you don't. And that starts to get into your system and exhaust you as well. So I think look at your rhythm, look how much the mind drives you into facing your daily life, and come back into, maybe this meditation can help you just to calm down your level and renew yourself with the pranayama. It's very efficient, very, very quickly. In these 31 minutes, you can reboot yourself and have a new sense of vitality coming to you. So, and then, of course, if you are not on the line of your passion, that means you had a passion, an idea, then you follow it, and then it has so many intrigues and consequences that you are lost in these consequences, and you start losing grip on your passion center, and you do things because you must do them. So when you do this, you exhaust yourself very quickly. Do this because you really embrace it and you see what comes along, what was your choice from your passion, and what comes along that is not so pleasant, but it's part of your passion. Then you're not exhausted. But if it is even your passion less motivating, then you exhaust yourself. So review your center, your inner self, and where is it in you, that place of raising passion about how you dedicate your life to. Okay, Satnam, thank you for your question, Siri Aftar. Now we have Rajnadin. Rajnadin, hello. I don't know if you are there, or maybe you will be there later on. But of course, I remember you very much, and I'm happy that you want to come back to level 2. I understand you couldn't do it since 2017, but you are always welcome. And I think many of the ancient that you say you didn't complete it. So of course, that's a first cycle, and it's good to complete it. But for those who have completed it, you can still have an idea to say, why not to try this year one module and see how much now it is effective, and you can use it for yourself. You can enter any of these modules, doesn't matter, because they have their own totality in themselves, and they give you access to a process that is every time very targeted and very clear to practice for yourself, and will give you tools. They are absolutely valuable. So thank you, Rajnadin. I'm looking forward to see you again. Avinder says, are we seeing the death of the teacher, or is this death of ego or shadow in the teacher? In the age of Aquarius, if I am my own guru, then what is the role of the true teacher? So I think this is a whole, one bag of mixing words and semantic, what we mean about these words. So I think a teacher is not necessarily a master, but a teacher is somebody who walked the path of mastery by sharing the level of experience he has of truth, how much he could apply it, and how much he understands the experience he put himself through, and that's what he can share. So as we say today, if you become the one you should be, that one can share something, because you have been the bridge between you and the new you, and therefore you can share this new you full of inspiration and wisdom. So you've got access to this inner teacher, which is one of your higher self, and that's a teacher a voice that can speak to you and guide you and inspire you. But now, nevertheless, there are many levels of teachers and frequencies, especially when we correlate to the body of light. There are other dimensions of how you can serve, elevate yourself and others by being inspired by other frequencies of spirit and soul. So when people have been going through the solar system initiation and free themselves from the bond of earth and are becoming ascendant souls, so these are mastery of the solar system logo. So these people are souls that don't need to necessarily incarnate for themselves and take again a physical body, and especially in the Aquarius. In Kali Yuga, we don't have so many of these, but we can, each of us, connect directly with this source of wisdom of this master's voice that are actually another level of frequency of who we really are on these levels. But as we do not recognize that we can guide ourselves, then we start to project on other souls that are there waiting to support us by solidarity. But we, at that level, we are a collective soul. There is not such a thing like a separate guru. The guru is a principle unifying all the guides, and that comes to each of us according to what we need to manifest and what we need to grow and develop at our very specific moment in life. So there are many, many sort of gurus that are frequencies of spirit, pure spirit, who comes and inspire you and guide you from other dimension in the cosmos, and help us to solve and resolve our lack of wisdom here, so we may expand and grow. So I think a teacher definitely work on his shadows. It doesn't prevent you from sharing at least what you have already conquered and dissolved. Help inspire others to do so. And on the path of mastery, you will yourself become a mystery for many, who will see you living in a way of sovereignty and openness and easiness that they're all longing to find. And they will be inspired by your presence, because you are descending Kundalini. You're bringing that energy, the divine presence of you down into this body, and this frequency become tangible for others. So that's my answer. Is never the death of a teacher. Teacher will it's an institution from the spirit. It cannot die. A teacher will always be here. We all need to be a teacher for yourself, and maybe share for others. So Jetegong, he says, I did level 1 with Amritnam years ago, and in group meeting I told him I was strong enough that the Kundalini can do nothing for my mind, because probably at that moment, I don't know, it was in the context, it's always difficult when you pull something I said in a very precise context. When I address your resistance, your magnetic field, your aura, whatever is there, and then bang, I say something like this, you can't come years after with a memory in the mind how that could have limited you. I never say anything in the direction of limiting you. So if I say Kundalini cannot do anything for you, for your mind, it just shows that your mind resistance are enormous, and it's a bond with your ego, and that you really need to focus on that and start to observe how the mind is limiting you. It has nothing to do with Kundalini, of course. That is also when you consider that a tool like Kundalini can save you from outside, because one Kriya work on that and what Kriya work on this. That's what I mean by that. It is not the practice for the practice that can solve your life problem. There will be no martial art or any sort of yoga that can solve anything for you if you do not put your awareness in the process. That's what I mean. So I guess today you understand it better. And that's what I mean. So I guess it's clear for you. Thank you for the question. So then we have Natalia, who asked a question about unconditional love. I guess in my talk I answered that. It was included, definitely. And the other was Nadia, how to deal with losing love and being disappointed. That to understand that people are not belong to each other, but might keep coming back to memories, feelings, hard to deal with. So I think I answered that. It is really any sort of broken heart story is about an emotional memory when you were not open to love and you were desperately looking for love from outside, and somebody came to you and pretended it could compensate you and give you what you miss, and you believed it, and you've been trapped in that. So I think if you understand that, start by self-love, honoring yourself, and realize how much yourself actually love you as incarnated being on this planet with this ego mind. He loves you. He leaves you this free will to choose what you want to serve, what you want to engage, what you want to create. So it is fully your responsibility to honor yourself and get sovereign and free from any entanglement. So you're not going to get anybody entangled with you, and you will not be entangled with somebody. So that's, if you want to avoid that pain, this is the first approach. What I describe as unconditional love is not coming from mind. You don't need to understand that. Just need to practice with yourself first and open up, and you will discover that frequency that is bringing so much bliss, so much peace into you. Okay, so somebody else, this is Fanny Karnek, speaking about the darkness and the light and the play of darkness and light, and how she feels the attack of the darkness. And even though she practices the path of light, where she wants to grow into the light, she's keep on attracting darkness, and she doesn't know how to get rid of that. So answer is very simple. This is the law of attraction. This is the law of manifestation. If you are confronted with darkness, that means you call them to come and confront you. You did not really choose definitely where you want to put your focus and your passion in life. You are in between two worlds. See, this is what happened when we die. Actually, we are leaving the earth plane, but we're not totally able to cross this wall of the magnetic field. And we are in this bardo, the in-between stage, where darkness and light are playing games between each other. They try to distract you and attract you, and you are tempted to believe they are real. This is all hallucination. This is all produced from the mind. We are creating all our reality with all our mind. So when you are impressed by darkness, you're going to attract darkness, and you're going to prove that they are real, which I'm not denying. They are there. They are real. You can manifest them. You can live in that. But you have the choice to decide, that's not my soup. You can decide. And it's not like I'm working for the light against the darkness. Not at all. I've chosen to serve values that have no limit. Therefore, nobody will come across. Nobody can stop me. If you have the strong bond with yourself that has no limit, and you are honoring your values, nobody can stop you. Even through death threat, or people will do that to you, you will not die in the darkness. This for sure. So I hope you understand that. You have to change your focus and totally focus on not the light against the darkness, but the value that carry you through the light, with the light, in the middle of the darkness, and the darkness cannot stop you. This is a very old thing. I mean, we all know that, but we don't know how to practice it. So I guess you understand something about that. Because more you are touched by darkness, more you resonate to the darkness, more you manifest them. This is just a classic law of manifestation. This universe is a big mirror. We have a hard time to accept that. We are responsible, and we're facing a mirror, and what you see in the mirror is what is in you. So the darkness that bother you, you bring them out, so you need to deal with it. So it doesn't mean you have to fight it. It doesn't mean you have to eliminate it. It doesn't mean you have to run away. It means embrace them, dissolve them into your heart, and dedicate your life on the path of light. So that's my advice. So Lily asking about Sushumna, and she wants to know more details to visualize what is it that Kundalini energy. So I spoke about it, the descending Kundalini, the ascending Kundalini. So it's, I think you had the elements through my talk, how you can visualize these two movements of Kundalini, and how you can. So definitely when these two are activated, they generate a vortex of energy that is around you. So it's not just the spine. You will feel it all around the shoulder, around the body, and then it can be like 3 meters around. It could be 5 meters around you, like a tornado of an amazing twirling energy that buzzing all around, the one descending, the one going up, and you're just in the middle of that vortex, totally activated with the spirit and the guidance and the soul expansion. So you slowly leave the attachment. And but if you have strong attachment, of course you cannot activate. So that's why we are working on all the chakra, opening this door, activate this door, so the Kundalini can be free to circulate down and up the same. Okay, I think this is, I think I passed the time a lot, so I just have to say thank you for Anna Kreutz, who just say thank you, so I send you back. I appreciate your appreciation. I'm touched by that. Thank you for everybody that I meet on my way who comes here in the summer to Le Martinet, who appreciate the Karta time. I mean, this is where I put my love into action. I love to be in your company now. It becomes very intimate. I feel we are one together, following an amazing path, and we have a conversation going on. And as much as I can feel uplifted by sharing my inspiration with you, you are, by this rendezvous, inspiring me very much. So I'm grateful for everyone who is following this Karta time and applying the practice and sharing with everybody uh, how we can uplift ourselves and uplift each other. So until the end of August, so much is going to happen here. So I'm excited to see you again next month. And until then, I wish this amazing time of fullness of the summer and enjoy it and experience this bliss of this amazing moment we are going through. Satnam, love you all, life to all, and peace to all. Satnam.